Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Arrogant. So this companion seems to be performing insanely high with its heals. Now we can see that when we attack this dummy, then you'll see that this companion will take the aggro and immediately start healing itself every time it gets hit there. You can see it takes a chunk of damage, then it'll do its strike, and it heals for that 685,000 heal. That's insane because that means that this companion can take a lot of aggro. When you're running something like the Vault of Stars and you have those areas in the maze and you have loads of enemies and it's really hard for a tank to keep on top of them. So you ideally need some companions or something else that's going to draw their fire. Companions were definitely a big thing that helped there, especially the ones that hard hit or just be all around the place. Xuna was a great companion to draw the aggro of enemies for their first hit, because generally you'd have your group nicely together and the ads would be on the outsides and be running towards you guys, and whoever hits that enemy first takes the aggro. And Xuna was notorious for taking that aggro due to the fact that she would just jump around the battlefield with her bloodbath and end up hitting an enemy first. Now by all means she can still do that, but we have to make sure that we're taking into consideration heal aggro. Whenever you heal, you're also generating threat. But unlike dealing damage, you don't actually have to hit the enemies to gain the threat of them. You just have to heal a lot. The enemies register, oh, this guy's healing loads, let's go and kill him. Meaning you don't actually have to hit the enemies, meaning you're not limited to your attacking powers and whether or not that enemy is within the range of actually being able to hit him. All you have to do is heal a whole ton and then you'll draw their fire. And this Dread Warrior, if he takes any amount of damage, he'll immediately heal for that much amount. You can see 2 ticks there, 3rd tick there again, and he does that every 10 seconds or so, and that's just crazy amounts of heal per second. We can see that with this act log here. He has his Siphon strike. His encounter heal is 130,000, so that is how much he heals per second on average. So take that into consideration. Is a normal healer going to heal that much? Yes, they could. A normal healer can definitely out heal that if they have multiple targets they're healing all the time. Keep in mind again, if people are not all taking loads of damage, then this Dread Warrior could potentially out heal them in regards to just aggro. Anyway, this companion is pretty cool in regard to it being able to heal that much. Now it does have other abilities, and one that does say it will increase the damage dealt by anybody who receives that Siphon strike, and supposedly by 10%. See, if I'm close enough to this Dread Warrior, I will gain this Siphon strike. Now supposedly it would give me 10% more damage, and this would be great if it did that. And it also gives you the benefit of healing, but this 10% is actually converted to power rating. You see my rating fluctuating there, and that is because this Siphon strike gives me only 10,000 power rating rather than 10% damage, as you can see there again, because it's fluctuating from 56,000 up to that 66,000 whenever he activates the Siphon strike there. Now it does seem to stagger as well, so now I'm on 61 and then back down to 56, and that's because he also has the ability on a Siphon strike to give 5,000 power. So these are stacking on top of each other. We're not actually gaining any damage bonus. I've tested on dummies, and otherwise he can output a decent amount of heals. Now the range on his Siphon strike is pretty big. You can see I'm just standing all the way over here, and he can go and hit him and I still obtain the Siphon strike, meaning he can be very good to just heal everybody within quite a large area. That is, of course, if this Siphon strike heals for any decent amount. And we can test that out again by dismissing this guy and then summoning him again, making sure I get the aggro on him so that I take all the hits. And when I take all the hits, then he'll be hitting me and dealing damage. You can see once he starts hitting me, I should be able to benefit from this Dread Warrior Siphon strike, which you can see we are healing for over 50,000 there from each of its hits of those heals. So let's actually go look at the data we obtained by gathering these heal over time. So you can see he already took aggro just from healing. But here is the combat log of how much he was healing just myself. I would have the aggro from the dummy, I would take the damage, and this guy would heal me. On average, he's healing me for just over 54,000 per tick there, and that adds up to a heal over time of a total of 21,704. Now, I have gone and tested out a whole bunch more of these healing companions, and I'm in the process of putting the data together, making a chart, and I'm also making a document. There are a few companions I have missed, and I'm working on that, and I will make a video in the near future. Again, this Dread Warrior does seem to heal for a pretty decent amount, and also having the ability to heal himself for an insane amount can make him pretty useful to draw aggro from just ads. And otherwise, that does definitely give him a lot of survivability by just healing for that much. It's just crazy. It's 3 ticks within a short window each time he hits his target. Of course, he'll have to have taken damage to be able to heal. So there you have it, the Dread Warrior. Not exactly dreadful anymore, but with regards to giving you a damage buff, that's pretty dreadful. The Siphon Strike window is pretty short, and you can't really rely on this power rating, and it's also too easy to stack yourself. I could take advantage of this if this was percentage power, not this rating power. Now, when testing this out in actual combat, the Dread Warrior doesn't seem to actually be able to heal him for that much at all. We're currently scaled down, so his heals are scaled as well, meaning he's not going to heal for a lot, but he doesn't seem to actually heal for that over 600,000 with his Siphon Strike. You can see all he's doing is regenerating a little bit with that strike. Again, we can check that again with these little minions. He'll hit them all, but he'll activate that Siphon Strike, as we can see, and also heals himself, but only for 131. So again, I'm not entirely sure on this insane amount of heal that we're getting within that dummy arena test. Perhaps those areas are bugged. Perhaps the coding is a little different. I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps whenever he gets hit by the dummy, there's some register that he's outside of combat and needs to regenerate. But that doesn't exactly explain why the heal is coming from his Siphon Strike and not just regenerate. So again, I'm not entirely sure. Let me guys know if you ever find him actually healing for that amount that we saw within the arena in any of these combat areas, maybe in queued content, but not within these zones right now. But he still is pretty useful companion. He does have a decent heal and also some buff ability to your power rating, which can be helpful to newer players. So just something I wanted to quickly share with you guys. I found it pretty amusing during my testing, and maybe you guys will find this useful. And again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. I'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.